Nope.
What is up, you guys? I'm James from James Reptiles, and we're back with another video. Sorry we were gone for a little bit there. I just need a little bit of a break. We went to the beach for a couple days too, had a nice little vacation, and other than that, I've just been working and hanging out with the animals, doing my thing. So this is just gonna be a quick little update video, and we'll get back to regularly scheduled videos, hopefully this week. Let's hop right into it. So first thing I want to talk about is my gargoyle geckos. So you'll know I have a pair in here, and I also have an extra female who's probably gonna get sold. This is her right here. She's got a face scar, so it's kind of healing a little weird, but I'm probably gonna sell her. She was the original female I bought, and she doesn't seem to be doing too much, but the new female just laid a single egg. So I have a gargoyle egg, and she did only lay one. I checked the moist height a bunch of times, and I actually ran out of these, what is this, an 8-ounce deli cup? So I just threw it in this other deli cup for now. So you can see how I do it there. There's the day one good egg, and this is from tank number 2. And it's definitely a little bit bigger. Crested gecko eggs, when they first lay them, they're really small. In fact, here are some from the other day. They don't look too great, but that's from the Dalmatian project, so I'm kind of just letting everything hatch from there. And then I have, yeah, so I'm really excited about that. But then over here, I have a gecko from the Dalmatian project. This is, I think, the first one to hatch out, really. I'm waiting on the other egg to hatch out. But this gecko is awesome. Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully. It's definitely not looking like it used to, but out the egg it was like bright red. And to have this so out the egg it was bright red, and to have this many Dalmatian spots as this small of a baby, it's just, you know, other breeders who have been breeding Dalmatians for at least 2 or 3 years, you know, that's pretty common. But for me, for my first Dalmatian, I think that's really awesome and spectacular. So this baby is definitely going to be raising up with me. You know, hopefully it turns out decent. If it's got a decent crest and ends up being a female, it'll definitely stay and probably replace the mom, which I think the mom is Paradise. So hopefully that one ends up being a girl, and we see her in the future in this tank. Another little baby update. We did have this little gecko hatch out, and this is a snow white and yellow, max snow white and yellow radar, and it's interesting. Some of the radars, a lot of times they look very unique in pattern, but other times they just look like albinos with the stripes. So I can actually tell that it's a radar based on the solid red eyes. That just lets me know it's an eclipse. And I know it has to be albino because both parents are, and I can just tell by looking at it. And I can tell it's white and yellow. The neckband, the white on the neck, very thick. And you can see on the sides, it's kind of high white-sided. And then I can tell it's a snow just because the lack of coloration. So white and yellow, snow, eclipse, or radar. So that's awesome. You know, I think it's going to end up being a boy just because I did have only one incubator this year. And it was pretty warm, so it's probably going to end up being a boy, but if it ends up being a girl, it'll probably go with my 2 females next year. So those 2 girls are definitely still laying eggs. Let me show you guys. So I think only one of them's laying eggs, and I think it's this girl. Look at her. She's a beauty. And then we also have that one. I really love this one. So I just fell in love with these at my work. So when I was able to afford a couple of them, I grabbed them, and no, they're just gorgeous. So hopefully, you know, I have a couple babies here. Let me show the other 2 that I got. So these are from the same, not those. These are from the same clutch. We have a white and yellow bell het radar, and then a snow bell het radar. They both kind of have tail kinks, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to keep either of these. But, you know, time will tell. I'll kind of decide when I get there. I'm gonna sell a couple more of these. I think 4 of them or 4 of these leopard geckos are spoken for, and then, you know, these 3 and that one and these down here are all keeps and part of that special project I got going on, so those will end up staying there. And then ton of mealworms. I gotta feed some leopards. I gotta sift through these, feed some leopards, and then take the remaining mealworms and just feed them off. I gotta do something, but let's take a look at my isopods. So this is really exciting. Actually, I didn't check them for a while, and then I just checked them. I saw someone say, you know, if you check them every day, you're not gonna notice a lot, just because you know, they breed fast, but it's one of those things where you just can't check them every day because you won't notice the difference. Let me preface this. If anyone remembers or they've been watching, I did have a bunch of baby crested geckos die. It got a little bit too hot. They were in direct sunlight, unfortunately, and I had, it must have been like 10 baby crested geckos die. Very unfortunate. They were actually ones I bought, so I lost a lot of money, and I lost a lot of possible money, you know. Like, they were really nice ones too. So I've been keeping them in the freezer, and you can see right here I actually fed one of them off. Let me grab a light. So you can see right there is the gecko. I've been feeding them off, and I just come in and check for maggots every once in a while, because they have been in here for a couple of days, so I'll probably end up taking them out. And yeah, like you can see, they've been eating the skin on this one, but I don't think they were quite hungry enough when I fed them to them. So, and then of course the springtails are eating a lot of them themselves, but you can see bones and like goop from an old egg. You know, I feed my, I definitely overwater and overfeed my isopods, but that's just me over caring, right? So you can see the head of a gecko right there. It looks like these clowns have definitely made some quick work of theirs, and these are getting big. I definitely, you know, as soon as these start reproducing, I'm going to be able to sell these. I'm having a problem though, and comment down below if you know any solution to this. Is, oh yeah, Paradise, my crested gecko, dropped its tail, unfortunately. I took her out, and she actually hopped off the glass onto the ground, and when I picked her up, she dropped her tail. So fed that to some isopods, and I have a ton of these dwarf whites. But like I was saying, if you know a solution to this, but my problem is I jumped into isopods, and I love them and they're awesome, but at the exact wrong time, you know, coronavirus happened, so there's not a whole lot of places to sell them. In some Facebook groups, not a whole lot of selling going on in those groups. I'm producing too many in these tiny tubs. Like, let's go back to these powder blues. Like, yeah, it doesn't look like a lot, but like, look at all those. So these are very nice powder blues, but I actually had to split them up here because I had too many in a tub. So, you know, these being as cheap as they are, I'm debating if I should try feeding these to my leopard geckos, because I know I've heard some people say that works. But I would just hate to do that, and then these dwarf whites are almost too small to feed to them. But I'd rather sell them. So there is an introvert market. It's kind of like MorphMarket, but you can post your insects. And I posted powder blues and dwarf whites, and I put them at a competitive price, but I don't think anyone's using that site yet. So I haven't heard from anyone, unfortunately. But oh, there's 4 at least. So at least 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is awesome. I'm slowly watching these guys. You know, I started with 6. It's been months. I've had other stuff do well. This is the only Cubara species I have, is the white duckies. And, you know, the longer they take, the more I see the price drop, and the more I'm just, but, you know, as soon as they are ready, and as soon as I do have a bunch, I'm going to trade for some other species and post them for sale, and it'll just be awesome. But these, you know, I took the, when I originally bought these powder blue for my boss, there were some really nice oranges in there too, so I took all those out. And you can see some of the adults are really nice orange because I only picked the best orange, but then some of these babies are again, some of that mix, some of that real poopy mix that I don't like. So I'll probably end up taking those out and putting them back in the other one, and just getting rid of them. Like, I don't need I want a colony of really nice oranges and really nice blues. I don't need more mix. But like you can see, here's my extras that I split the colony into two. But you can see the red on this crested gecko, on this dead crested gecko. That's a bit of mold, so I'm gonna end up taking these out either tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening. And these are my real nice blues. You can see they definitely ate their crested gecko. That's the skull right there. I think I might have just given them a head, but these aren't super blue either. These are more of just a gray, which is unfortunate, but it's better than like the browns and the gross colors that the combined colony down here was producing. This is one I'm super excited for. You can see they ate a lot of their gecko. You can see the spine there, and I apologize if anyone's, you know, grossed out by that. But these are my Porcellio haasii. I feel like every time I check on them, my original adults just look bigger and bigger. But then look at all those babies. So I'm definitely at the point where I'm about to, I'd give it another 2 weeks, and you know, some of these bigger babies, I'll probably take a couple of them out and then offer them to my boss to trade for some other stuff. I do want to get rubber duckies, so maybe I'll trade them, you know, 20 of those for, you know, 5 rubber duckies or something and start a colony. And here are my dairy cows, which you won't really see because I only had 5 because a buddy just gave me 5. But there are springtails and there's little tiny babies. There's just a couple of them, but you know, I heard dairy cows are extremely prolific, so I definitely can't wait to get those going and, you know, have a bunch of dairy cows running around. And then I'm gonna have to pick up some more of these tubs from Target eventually and just finish off this whole rack and just slowly fill it with isopods, and it'll just be an isopod rack after that. So those are kind of all the updates for the reptile room. Not too much going on, but definitely a lot's happened in the past 2 weeks. And like I said, I'll get back on some regular video schedule. Ooh, almost died. And show you guys, you know, all sorts of other stuff. I did just ship out a super snow gecko to someone today, so hopefully that makes it there safe tomorrow. I did just recently do my business taxes for the first time, so that was definitely, you know, stressful, not knowing what to do, not understanding it, and not sure. You know, it's definitely hard because you don't. It's hard because you have to report everything, but it ends up costing a lot, and it's kind of hard. So I downloaded QuickBooks, so I think this year or this quarter everything's going to be recorded. I'm going to set some money aside so when I do have to pay my taxes, you know, I'll definitely be ready for it, and it'll just be good. But nonetheless, I'm James from James Reptiles. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Everything you want to see down below. Hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, jamesreptiles@gmail.com if you have any questions. And with that, I'm going to show you a rat skull I brought home for my girlfriend and we cleaned up. There's my blue beauty. So we put it in some bleach and that definitely deteriorated it a little bit, but I thought it was pretty cool. You see the teeth. The teeth are the part that get you.